Sometimes working harder is not the solution. We've all heard the cliche phrase, work smarter, not harder. And the reason why that cliche even exists is because your inputs and outputs are non-linear. What does that mean? The work that you put in is not linearly proportional to the output that you get out, right? So we often think that if we work more or we work harder, we'll get more results. And it's like this linear curve, right? Where like the x-axis is your work in, the y-axis is your results, and it's just a linear line. But that's often not the case, right? And let's think about it, right? Because the people who work the hardest are not necessarily the people who get the most results, which is a direct inconsistency with that linear curve, right? Let's think about, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, right? He's a very successful guy. He's gotten all the results in the world, right? But when he was at Harvard, right? I will bet you $1,000,000 that he was not the hardest working guy out there. Of all the students in Harvard, there were definitely other college students who were working just as hard as he was, or working even harder than he was, who didn't have this like $1,000,000,000 idea of Facebook that actually got him all the results. And that brings me to my point, because it's what you work on and who you work with that actually are much more important than how hard you work in terms of getting results, right? So once you nail these first two things, right, what you work on and who you work with, then working hard becomes kind of a lever. So then working hard becomes like a force multiplier to really increase your outputs. But when you don't exactly know what the what and the who are, and they're not perfectly set in stone, it is actually inefficient to work hard, right? Let's think about it like this. If you want to get past a door, let's imagine this scenario, right? Let's say you're standing where I am, there's a door in front of me, and I want to get to the next side, right? Or to the other side. I could, theoretically, just bang my head against the door over and over and over again, and eventually, like, the door will break and I'll get through, right? Or I can stop and think, oh, there's a handle on this door. Let's open the handle. Or I can, call my friend and say, hey, can you open this door for me? And then someone will come and open the door from the other side, right? There are other ways to achieve the results that you want. But oftentimes, right, if we're just banging our head against the door, what does that do? We lose time, we lose energy, we lose our emotional investment, right? And if you really think about it, your best work will come when you are motivated, when you're relaxed, when you're calm. So don't waste your time banging your head against a wall, which is only going to make you work worse and work more with less results. So just calm down. Remember that your inputs and outputs are non-linear, and stop banging your head against a wall.